As you can see, I've cleaned the pots, taken a bunch of the soil out of them. There's one there that I didn't use last year that I might use this year. Last year I grew 8 tomatoes. I've already got 10. So I bought a couple of buckets that I'll probably drill some holes in and fill up. And I'm going to be using some of that compost that I drove so far to get. And this is a 2 cubic foot bag of Miracle-Gro potting mix with fertilizer already in it. It's not organic, I know. I said earlier, that I'm not completely organic gardener, but I will try to use as much as I can. So the compost, of course, is all organic, and whatever fertilizer I use this year will probably be an organic fertilizer. So, alright, so I'm going to get some soil mixed up and get these tomatoes in some pots, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm all done. Well, here we go, YouTube. Tomatoes are planted. Still gonna probably plant a couple of more. I don't have a big yellow tomato, and that's one of my favorites. I like a big slice of yellow tomato, and maybe another cherry plant, maybe a grape, something like that. I've got the cherry, or the chocolate cherries, and the yellow bells, but that's all the cherry tomatoes I have. So maybe another plant of those, and one big yellow slicing tomato, and that'll probably be the tomatoes for this year. Alright, so here's the start of a whole nother thing to watch. The tomatoes are in the ground. And while I was at it, I thought I would show you, after I got done planting the tomatoes, went down to the garden, and there's a bowl full of butter crunch lettuce and 4 cherry bell radishes. So, first harvest of the season. Just thought I'd share it with you. Hey guys, here's a real quick update on the tomatoes. Today's Monday the 23rd, and I planted these things back on Friday, and boy, what a difference a couple of days makes. Friday it was nice and warm, in the 70s. Today it's just barely 60. The wind's blowing again like 20 miles an hour. We just had, from Saturday night through all day yesterday, we had, I think, a little over 3 inches of rain. So right after I planted these things, it has just got soaked. But the sun's finally come out today, and these tomatoes are looking good. They're all standing up after getting beat down all day yesterday by the wind and the rain. And one thing I noticed, I made this soil mix for each one of them with the compost that I bought in those bags and some Miracle-Gro potting mix. I mixed it 2 parts compost to 1 part of the Miracle-Gro, and then with all the rain we had, the water going through them, like in this bucket, I've got of course holes drilled in the bottom of this one for drainage, but look in the bottom of that bucket. That's all the water that's come through this tomato plant. And man, that pot's heavy. It's still holding a lot of water even after what's drained through. And each one of these trays are full of that. So I think what I'm going to do is dump all these trays full of water that I can get the pots off of into a bucket and take it down on the garden and dump it on the garden, on those plants down there, and see what it does to them. So just a quick update on the tomatoes. I can't go down and film in the garden because it's just way too windy down there. This little porch up here is kind of protected. So just wanted to give you a little quick look at the tomatoes, and we'll come back and look at them again in a little bit.